they don't. All your excuses are lies. Little lies that you think makes life easier, but they don't. Now I know in the morning, you got that blanket giving you a warm hug. You got the pillow, which is whispering in your ear, telling you it's okay, telling you to stay just a little longer. But don't listen to them. They're lying to you. Listen to your alarm clock, which is telling you to get up and get some. Listen to the weight room, the pull-up bar, which is telling you to face reality. And listen to your will, which is telling you to get up and crush everything, regardless of how you feel. Don't negotiate with weakness. Kill it.
See, in life, you can go through life, you can come up with reasons or you can come up with results. You can come up with excuses or you can come up with achievements. You can go through life blaming or you can come up with solutions. The choice is in your hands, satisfaction or despair. You can choose that.
You don't get better on a daggone couch. You get better by coming out here and getting the fuck after it every daggone day. When that alarm clock goes off at 4 or 5 in the morning, your mind says no. You just say, this is what we do now. My new norm is you get every fucking morning at 4 o'clock and you suffer. That became my new fucking life. Most people want to get out of it. I said, no, this is your new life. This is who you are. I don't care how...
Woo! Oh my goodness, fired up on a Friday. How to get the day flowing with a little bit of Les Brown, a little bit of David Goggins to go ahead and really throw the energy out there and get it flowing coming into today. Happy Friday, Dreamers. It's so good to see everybody. Cedric, lovely, Jojo, how are we feeling coming off of Independence Day? 4th of July, always a great day to really just go ahead and sit down and just think about how blessed that we really are. You know, it's interesting. I have some of my students that are actually in different countries, and they tell me about all of these stories all the time. You know, for instance, I have some over in Nigeria. You know, some of them don't make more than $200 a month. And when they see the opportunity, like what it is that we have over here in the States, they run through brick walls to go ahead and get it. So a lot to be thankful for, a lot to be grateful for coming into today. And today's topic is going to be stemming pretty much off of yesterday, right? All of us have the opportunity to go ahead and gain our independence. That's why Chris Terry created this platform. That's why any of us that have access to Wi-Fi and a smartphone can truly gain back our independence. But it's going to take two sides. And that comes to today's topic. We can either make excuses or we can either go ahead and make results as not I would say, but that's coming from Les Brown himself. So it's good to see everybody. Let's go ahead and get started for the day. Let me get live on IG. Let's go ahead and get them plugged in here. And what is everybody grateful for coming into today? Let me know. How are we feeling coming off of the 4th of July? What is the word for the month? How are we feeling? I've heard some discipline, determined. Yes, here we go. IG, it's good to see you, fam. Happy Friday. So grateful to be on with each of you. Grateful to be alive. So thankful for the access that we have. Grateful for God. So thankful for the opportunity every single day. You know, Chris Terry broke it down beautifully. Yesterday was actually our 11-year anniversary. And he actually pretty much explained, again, how this company was founded. I told you guys yesterday he was out there in Spain, said, I want to help the newest person be able to go ahead and reach independence. And Chris Terry is somebody that didn't come from money. Chris Terry is somebody that came from New York, had a similar background to most, you know, in the slums of New York, but he didn't make excuses. He went out and he made results. So I'm excited to go ahead and get into today's topic. Deanne, focus forward, structure in the month, great for the grace, yes, and his mercy. Absolutely. Love it. So here we go. Let's dive into today's topic. And this is a really good one because here's what I know. When it comes to making excuses, when it comes to making results, excuses is always going to be there, right? I don't care who you are, what's going on in life. Every one of us always have the opportunity to go ahead and blame something on an excuse. Now, as my mentor always gives us the visual, he's like, think about it. No matter what it is that we want to go ahead and point the finger and blame, there's always going to be one finger pointed out and there's always going to be multiple fingers pointed back in. So it just comes to really taking taking self accountability. Because Jim Rohn, he says, think about it like this: we can become unsuccessful with legitimate excuses. That's a real thing. I'm not here to tell anybody that any one of our excuses are invalid. We have some very real excuses. Life happens. Whether it's family, financial problems, right? There's a myriad of things that could be happening. But the point is, I think about it even with my sister. If I would have just stayed in that ball, if I would have stayed in my shell back in 2014 and 2015 and just kept blaming the world, literally 5, 10, 15, 20 years could have went by. I could have kept making excuses, but at the end of the day, the market doesn't really care about our excuses. Our goals, unfortunately, they don't care about our excuses either. And I learned this back then. I was like, I can sit and keep crying and weeping, but nothing is going to change. I can't go back and change the past. I can't go back and rewrite history. A lot of us would if we could, but in a moment, that's the power of a decision. Any one of us go out and make a decision. Today's the day. I'm done making excuses to go out and build my body. I'm done making excuses playing around with my finances. I'm done with my excuses taking my potential lightly. And I was literally there with every single one of these getting into this journey. So I don't care what it takes. The late nights, the early mornings, investing back into myself, all of these things was different for me. It was all new. But I also started to see that if nothing changes, nothing changes. So here's what's really interesting. You know why it's so hard for any of us to go ahead and make a decision and stay consistent? I'm going to tell you why. This is really the science behind excuses. Imagine our mind, okay? We think literally hundreds and thousands of thoughts every single day. And believe it or not, we feel literally probably tens of thousands of emotions every day as well. So if we're talking about gratitude, like think about it. Today we're 717 days through writing down our gratitude. And the whole reason we write our gratitude is to funnel all of the, imagine 35,000 emotions of fear, anger, depression, anxiety, right? All of these different emotions, and we want to funnel them into gratitude. So imagine a river. And this is what happens just like a river. If we don't have boundaries, it's easy for everything to just flow anywhere. But we're literally taking all of these emotions and funneling it through this narrow piece of the river called love, called gratitude, called really deep passion. And there's a reason why it gets crazy going through some of these narrow areas. Because just like a river, we have rapids too. The rapids in life is a lot of things that happen. Most of them is externally. Could be things that's going on with our job, with our family, with our home, maybe with some of our friends. These are the rapids that come in life. And the goal is to be able to go ahead and stay calm in the rapids, to be able to have clarity in the midst of all of this craziness that's going on. Emerson said one of the hardest things for a man or woman is to sustain the thought of goals, visions long enough to allow it to go from the spiritual world and manifest into the physical. So watch this. This is really interesting too, because our mentor got really deep into this part. You ready? He said a lot of us, we pile up so many other people's problems on top of us that this is why we're sinking in the river. We feel like we're drowning because we're carrying so many other people's weight that maybe we haven't taken enough time for ourselves to be able to go ahead and navigate to where it is that we need to go first. So this is why the term be selfish before we can go ahead and be selfless. Because watch this. Here's what's so interesting right here. When you go out and you listen to people tell their story, when you listen to them talk about their misery, when we listen to those talk about excuses, this is really interesting right here. You ready? Watch this. He says, when people are talking about excuses, a lot of the times you and I, myself included, right, making excuses, we reveal how powerless we are when it comes to that story. Think about it. For me, years ago, I used this story for a long time. How could the Creator, how could God take away my sister so young? That was my story. That was my lack story. I'm afraid to go do anything. I don't want to step out. I don't want to be someone that's a target. I want to stay safe in my shell. Well, that was my story. And guess what? That story that I told myself kept me kept me captive. That story that I told myself had me literally pretty much bonded with chains. I was afraid to take a step. I was afraid to get out and be bold until I started to see I'm the one that controls the story. We are the ones that literally get to go ahead and rewrite how the next pages get to go ahead and go. Just because some pages in the past happen doesn't mean that's going to be able to dictate what's happening in the next future chapters that are coming along the way. Because we have the pen, we have authority over our own book. And sometimes all we need is a reminder to go ahead and let that sink in. Because for many of us, we've been clocking into a job, right? Some of us have been working since 15, 16 years old. And we've been clocking and building somebody else's dreams. And we've been too tired maybe to come back and build our own dreams. That was me. I was busting my butt for 60, 70 hours a week. Clocking in, cooking cheesesteaks. I would have to sweep the floor. Would have to freaking wait tables. Would have to clean up the entire kitchen and sweep the whole floor every day, 7 days a week. That was my life. I lived that. And for a long time, I wondered, is this it? Is this what I was born to do? Spent $30,000 in college, spent 4 freaking years to get out to clean floors. Nothing wrong with floors, but I truly believe each one of us has a passion, a talent, a vision, idea, skill set to bring to the table, to really let that sink in. So that was me. That was my story until I said, you know what? I have the pen. I get to go out and rewrite the story. My family wanted to pass down a Philly cheesesteak restaurant. That was their dream. That's not my dream. So the question for today is, how many of us have been maybe wearing somebody else's dream instead of our dream? And for some of you, you've really found your purpose. You figured out why it is that you're here. You know, shout out to Shane and Selena. I'll give you a perfect example right here. They're literally taking time to go out and build the Virgin Islands. They're going out to literally help build their economy. That's part of the definite major purpose. Something that's bigger than just you and I. And to me, that's something that's so surreal, that's so special, because I'm the same way. My family passed away from cancer. So some of my biggest dreams and aspirations is to be able to figure out cures, is to be able to figure out how can we figure out a way? How is it somebody that 27, 28 years old passes like this? I want to help get research. I want to help find solutions like Dr. Sebi giving away the keys. I want to figure out because I know there's a way. So this is part of my drive that lights my fire, that I say, you know what, either I can make excuses and maybe never ever get a chance to figure out that find, or I can go out and say, you know what, we're going to make the result happen. Doesn't matter what it takes, we are going to make it happen. That's just me. That's my perspective. But I know for a fact when we start thinking bigger than just you and I, the excuses go out the window. I'll give you the last thing I want to leave you with today. The next family function that you have, maybe it was yesterday. Maybe for the 4th of July, you got a special chance to spend some time with your family. Maybe it was your grandfather. Maybe it was a sibling you haven't seen in a long time. Maybe it was a cousin that got invited over to the house. And I want you to remember this. The next time that you see them, the next time that you hug them, ask yourself, what would it be like to help them make their dreams come true? Your cousins, your family, your grandparents. Maybe they want to travel somewhere. Maybe they don't want to end up in a nursing home. I don't know what that is for some of you, but I have some family that's like that. That's literally going into nursing homes as we speak. And I don't know if you know how much it costs for a nursing home in a good area. That's $5,000 to $7,000 a month. It's not cheap. Health bills. One of my grandparents just had a surgery. That surgery cost $49,000 just to have surgery on his knee. So I've started to see as I get older, time doesn't wait on anybody. Bills continue, and at some point in time, if you haven't experienced this already, You might be the one to help your family. You might be the one that they need when nobody else can really give back. And if that time ever happens, you'll truly get to see what it's like to know that we can either keep making excuses and let them keep struggling, or say, you know what? Today's the day. I'm sick and tired of watching them wake up, clock into work every day, miserable, tired, anxious, depressed, coming out and drinking a bottle because they can't stand living anymore. I know what that feels like. I have alcoholics in my family. That's why I can speak about it so passionately. This topic is touchy for me because I know exactly what it's like to make excuses. I know what it's like to go out and make a decision and get out and make results too. And this is that season where every one of us get a decision every day. We all get the same decision to either keep making excuses or say, you know what? Let's go out and make the decision. Let's go out and be the one for our family. So if you believe that's you, if you believe that we are the ones to go out and be the game changers, the change shifters, the paradigm changers, drop an I am down below. Because it starts with belief. You got to be able to see it before it ever happens. I saw myself impacting. I saw myself traveling. I saw myself being able to give back, being able to make these phenomenal relationships all around the world, sleeping in my car. Had to see it spiritually before it ever manifests physically. And that's how it goes for all of us. I don't know if you know it or not. I've already seen all of you walking on stage. I've already seen the memories, the laughs that we're going to have out in Mexico, the unforgettable experience. I've already seen it in my mind. It's only a matter of time for it to go ahead and catch up. So with that being said, fam, I believe in each and every single one of you. If nobody told you lately, I see the work, I see the effort, I see the energy, I see the passion. So just know it is only a matter of time for this greatness to continue to flow to and through. I love you, fam. I appreciate you. Happy Friday. Let's go out and have one of those summers that we can come back and remember, say, yo, that was that summer that really set the tone. So, fam, I love you guys. We can be, do, and have anything we can hold in our mind. We can hold it right here in our hand. Let's go out and turn these dreams into reality. We've got the promo. We've got literally 24 hours left to help anybody that wants to make another stream of income for less than $100. So let's leverage that. Let's share the power, the access of what is that we have, because we know what it's done for us, and we know what it could do for anybody else that's open-minded, hungry, and willing to take action. Let's go, family. It's game time.